Another edition of Smart Chat and yet another video, and thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so, please do so. Like, favorite, share, leave me a comment. All my information is found below. And if you're in New York here right now, although I am not a Met fan, Mike Piazza missed the Hall of Fame for the second straight year. Instead, Glavine, Maddux, Thomas are in this year. And you have to look at this, and realistically, you have to love him or hate him. You have to acknowledge the fact that Mike Piazza is the greatest probably living catcher right now of all time, if not one of the greatest, if not the greatest, one could argue. But without a doubt, he is a Hall of Famer. So why, you ask, has he missed the Hall of Fame the last 2 years? And quite simply put, it is because he played in the steroid era. Now, it has never been proven that he has taken steroids, but based on some of his injuries that he had, one argues that it's consistent with using steroids. However, there is no proof that he did use steroids, and quite honestly, I believe that he did not use steroids. But herein lies the problem. Because there is suspicion that he used steroids, he played in the steroids era, him and other players of his era that would normally be Hall of Fame players, because there is this cloud of suspicion based on the type of writers who have the votes this year, or who have votes for the Hall of Fame. I honestly don't think Mike Piazza will get into the Hall of Fame anytime soon, if even. And again, this is based on the era that he played in. If you think about it, the only way, realistically, I think that Mike Piazza and his caliber players that played in this era, based on the voters that we have right now, would ever get in, is if it was found out that one of the players already in the Hall of Fame has used steroids. And at that point, I think the voters would simply realize and have no choice but to vote in the suspicion players based on the fact that, again, it's suspicion. But I think that's what would need to happen for me, Mike Piazza, to go into the Hall of Fame. Whether you agree with it or not, unfortunately, Mike Piazza is part of the steroid era. So, again, the only way I feel Mike Piazza could get in is if it's found out that some player in the Hall of Fame that was voted in has used steroids. There has to be, you imagine, a player that has been inducted recently that has used steroids. It just hasn't been found out yet. I made a video about this a couple of months ago. Again, I personally feel it's all based on suspicion. You have no proof one way or another should let these players in. But unfortunately, I don't have a vote, and does not seem to be the mindset that the current voters are in. If you have suspicion, unfortunately, you're not getting in. So let me know what your thoughts on this Hall of Fame voting, the steroid era. Is Mike Piazza a Hall of Famer? Thank you for watching, and until next time, over and out. Adios.